So jealousy, much like guilt and shame, isn't technically an emotion as much as it is a story that we identify with so as not to have to feel the real emotions that we've buried and repressed. It's secondary, right? You often hear jealousy paired with anger, yeah? Like he or she went into a jealous rage. This is because he or she has buried rage and anger in their bodies that got activated by a very specific kind of belief that we in KI call a deficiency story. So here's the hypothetical situation. Let's say a husband becomes jealous because his wife works with a guy who she has to communicate with a lot. When the husband boomerangs the situation and asks, what does my wife talking to that guy mean about who I am? He finds the deficiency story, I don't matter. The deficiency story, I don't matter, is a self-view that he developed in childhood from being raised by two parents who are emotionally unavailable. In psychology, they might call this a core belief, right? And they might encourage you to affirm the opposite, like I do matter, or progressively become more aware and drop that belief. But here's the thing. At the unconscious level, we actually need to keep believing these deficiency stories. Crazily, it's safer for the husband to believe he doesn't matter and be jealous than it is for him to access and drain the reservoir of buried childhood anger that's been keeping his suffering intact for, 30 years. This is the curse of emotional repression. It's safer to suffer and believe things than it is to feel and express what's true. But fortunately, we can break the curse's spell with emotional repression work. If this husband came to KI and processed his buried anger, it would dissolve his deficiency story, I don't matter, and with that, the jealousy. And then he would probably just recognize that his wife is just, talking to her coworker. And here's the best part. You can do this with any belief about yourself, about others, about the world. If you utilize your beliefs to access and process your buried emotions, ultimately, you don't have to believe anything. And doesn't that sound nice? If so, visit repressiontest.com.